The government maintains that the Philippines-U.S. Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement will not pave the way for the return of the American forces in the country. According to Solicitor General Florin Hilbay, the accord only augments the provisions of the Mutual Defense Agreement and the Visiting Forces Agreement between the two countries. This report.
Former Senator Rene Sagisag, one of the senators who voted for the termination of the basis agreement with the United States, is concerned the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement paves the way for the return of U.S. forces in the country. Sagisag raised this issue in oral arguments before the Supreme Court, questioning the agreement's constitutionality, since the Constitution bars foreign troops on Philippine soil. However, the government's chief counsel, Solicitor General Florin Hilbay, dismissed Sagisag's claims. Hilbay stressed the EDCA is only an implementing agreement to augment the provisions of the Mutual Defense Treaty signed in 1954 and the Visiting Forces Agreement signed in 1998. The Mutual Defense Treaty has general commitments to include the defense of the country from a foreign aggressor, specific commitments under the Visiting Forces Agreement.
It's very clear. We're not speculating about the basis of our arguments. It's very clear that the EDCA is consistent with the general commitments under the MDT and the specific commitments under the VFA.
Hilbay stressed the EDCA guarantees America's commitment to defend the country. It also enhances joint cooperation in military training exercises and disaster response. A major concern of those opposed to the agreement is the identification of camps that may be used by U.S. forces on a rotational basis for training and supply and logistical support.
Under the MDT, the parties have the right to maintain and develop their capacity for self-defense. Under the VFA, there's a standing policy that allows the entry of U.S. forces, and that's the troops and facilities of the United States forces.
Top defense officials said nowhere in the agreement is it stated that the U.S. will maintain permanent bases. Hilbay also stressed there is no need for the Senate to ratify the agreement since priority authorizations are already in place based on the Mutual Defense Treaty and the Visiting Forces Agreement.
It's very clear under the EDCA that all the activities are temporary in nature, intermittent, and subject to joint use by the parties. Sure. All the licenses for the EDCA have already been secured under the MDT, which was ratified by the Philippine and the U.S. Senate, and the VFA, which was ratified by the Philippine Senate.
For the People's Television Network, this is Freddie Abando reporting.